Right guys, so question 1 to do today, we're going to do a bit of revision, so revision sheet 4 with our keywords from today, so equilateral, external, tangent arcs, point of contact, parallel and normal, and we might add one or two more. So revision sheet 4, so we're going to do this questions on page 172, it's a fidget spinner. I think they were out there last year, the year before. So it asks you the first question: did you ever play with a fidget spinner like the one shown below? Its design is based on an equilateral triangle of 100mm side length and external tangent arc. So we've got external tangent arc. So in other words, if I drew that big circle, an arc is part of a circle. So if I drew the full out of that circle, you'd have two circles touching off it at one point. So these two small ones, same here, same here. Alright, so how are we going to get that big circle here, or an arc of the circle, to touch off the two there? Alright, the two circles here. Okay, so we've got an equilateral triangle in the middle, and we've got the equilateral triangle gives the center of two concentric circles. We'll put that in. Read that yesterday as well. I lost that. Concentric. So what does concentric mean? It means two circles or more with the same center. So we've got two concentric circles, two concentric circles, two concentric circles. Okay. So it's based around an equilateral triangle, so we'll start with that. Now here's a good lesson for us, lads. If you didn't read this question, you wouldn't know where to start. It says within the question there's an equilateral triangle of 100mm side length. And why have they only given us one? Because an equilateral triangle has all the same side lengths. Okay, so we'll start there. We'll start with the equilateral triangle. So if we come down 150, draw a line across the top. And we come in 60, and we'll draw the base of that equilateral triangle. And the base of that equilateral triangle is 100mm. And as we know, an equilateral triangle has three equal sides, three equal angles. So the base angles of an equilateral triangle is 60, which is on our set square. So we'll use our set square to draw it. So I'll just go up at 60 degrees there. Don't know how far, just know that it'll be cut off by this one going here at 60 degrees also. There we go. So where the two of them cross is the top of my equilateral triangle. Okay, right. So after that we can draw our concentric circles, or three sets of concentric circles. So the first one is radius 16. So the inner radius of the three of them are all 16. So it's 16 turns up on my, just double check. Okay. So there's our 3 16s, and now we've got three bigger radiuses of radii of 35. So we charge up 35 in our compass, and we go from the same center, so we get our three sets of concentric circles. Okay, so now we've got our 3 sets of concentric circles. Grand. Right in the middle, so there's a circle here going on in the middle. Oh, this is something we might do later on, but you can see here the angles on it. We've got, if you look at the red lines in it, there is a long line, short line, long line, short line, which means that's a line splitting that down the middle. So the long line, them red lines, long line, short line, long line, means it's a line of symmetry. So in other words, if I draw that line going across there, I could fold that corner down onto the other one. So it splits that right down the middle. Now, as we know, that angle is 60 degrees. So if it's 60 degrees, well, what splits 60 degrees? 30. So I can use the 30 degrees on my set square to do that there. And I'll do the same the other side. Now, actually, I'm going to use 30 degrees in this one. What I want you to do with the other one, I don't want you just to draw 30 degrees there. I want you to bisect that angle. So there's some construction you know to bisect that angle. So if you can't think of anything, you might lose one mark, but can you think of any way that you can bisect that angle? We've done it. We did it towards the start of the year. So I want you to bisect that angle for me. So you can draw 30 degrees on that one. I want you to bisect that angle. I don't want you to use the set square. If you can't think of it, use the set square, but you will lose marks, unfortunately. Okay. Right, so when we cross the two of them over, where they cross, we have this point right in the middle. And if we were drawn right, the one above should meet it as well. You can draw it in if you want. So we should have that point there. And that point there is the center of the circle in the middle. The size of the radius is the distance from, if that's the center and that's the center, when you join the two centers, you get the point of contact. So if there's two circles touching each other, if you join the two centers, that's the point of contact. If that's the point of contact, it's a point on the circle. If it's a point on the circle, well, the distance from that, the center of the circle, to the point on the circle is the radius. So I just measure out the radius on my compass. And I can draw it in there like that. And it should fit right in there. Nice and so. So there's our circle in the center. Okay, and all we've left to do is these tangent arcs on the outside. So it says here there's a radius, an arc of radius. An arc is part of a circle. We'll stick that in our keywords. I'll put in a few more lines here. So okay, so let's stick arc in here. Arc, which is any part of the circle is an arc. Alright? Okay. So what I need to do is I need to draw a tangent arc in here. So in other words, we have a circle, a big circle out here that is touching off these circles. And the size of this circle out here is radius 60. Alright? So with radius 60, the distance from the center of this circle, so I'm talking about this outside one now, the distance from the center of that out to the center of this circle is going to be this radius, which is 35, plus this radius, which is 60. If you think about it, you're going to have 35 and then another 60 to the center. So I'll get that distance on my compass. So 35 plus 60 is 95. So I'm getting a distance of 95. 35 plus 60 is 95. So I'm getting it. So I'm getting a distance of 95 on my compass. Okay. There's that distance there, and I'm going to swing it from the center here. And that'll, if I put a 60 radius on any point in that, it'll touch that circle. But I'm only interested in the one that touches this circle and that one. So I have to put the center, the 95 in the center of this circle as well. And where they cross over, that's a radius of 60 that touches this and that. And I'll do the same on all the sides while I'm at it. So here, that's it. Yeah, alright. Okay. So now I have the center of the circle 60 millimeters away from that. Now there is a problem in that the curve comes down here, right, and it stops at some point, right? So obviously it's an arc, so I don't have the full circle. So I had to figure out, right, where does the arc go from there and turn into this curve going back this way. So it goes down around like that, radius 60, and at some stage it turns around. When it does that at the point of contact, and the point of contact, the two circles are touching off each other, the point of contact between the two of them is where the centres, if you join the two centres, it'll go through the point of contact on both circumferences. So if I take the centre of this circle and I join it out there, and I take the centre of this circle out here that I haven't drawn yet, draw it out here, that'll give me the point of contact there. So in other words, look, I'll draw it in 2H first so you can see it. There's my radius 60 in there. So look, that's what it would look like, okay, if I was to draw it. But what I'm saying is, that curve comes around there, and at the point of contact, it turns into the other curve, alright? So you have to join the centres to find that out. So you have to do that for all of them. Join the centres here. Same out here. So that I haven't drawn the arc yet, but when I do, that's where it's going to curve from there to there. And the same out here. Remember though, lads, this is construction free. I'm doing it in this, I think this is a H pencil, so you can see it, but I should only barely be able to see it on your own. Okay, now I have the points of contact, so I'm going to label them like that with my pen. I do. Alright. So before I draw the circle at all, I'm going to put in the POC, point of contact. Point of contact here, POC. I do the same here, POC. Same here, POC. Same down here, POC. Same here, POC. So now I know where to stop my H, or my working arc. So it starts here, stops there. It starts here, stops there. So I put it on my compass down there. And open it out. So it starts there, stops at the other point of contact. Same out here. So it starts. Stops at the other one. Same here. Starts here. There we go. So now we have our 3 tangent arcs. Okay, and I'll label one. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to label the sizes on one of them. So I'll just draw a random line out the side of it here. I'm going to label that. So that distance, I should have drawn along the POC anyway. So that distance is equal to the radius, which is 35, and that distance is equal to the radius of the other one added on, which is 60. So in total, 35 plus 60 is 95. Alright? Okay, so lads, remember, you have to add colour to the drawing. I don't want to see these scraggly lines. I want a nice even colour in all of them. Do some sort of colour scheme if you want. An Irish one or a football team or something like that. Whatever you want to do, if you want to do a colour scheme in there. You don't have to do them all different colours. Whatever suits you, you do your own design. Okay, right. After that, I want you to, well, we do it now. So if we come up, right. Right, so if we come up 50 from the bottom. Okay, so 50 from the bottom, and draw a line 50. So up 50 from the bottom, and come in 50 from this side here. Right, come in 50 from that side there. So up 50, in 50 there, and I want you to get a radius of 40 and put it on your compass. And draw a H or a working circle there. Like that. Okay. So what I want you to do, if you come up 20 now there, so come up 20. So come up 20 along there, and draw that line out there, and come out a distance of 120. There. So you get this point here. So you're up 20 in 120, and that will give you this point here. We call it P for point. Alright? Now, what I want you to do, from that point, I want you to draw me a tangent from this point onto that circle. Doesn't mean just joining it like that. There's a construction that we've done that you need to go through. So you need to give me a tangent from that point to that circle. In fact, give me two of them. Give me both tangents. One go this side, one go that side. I want to see both of them. Okay? Alright, as well as that, so we've got this line here that's down 150, it's going through. You can extend that out, the one here in the base, and you can come in. $100 from this side. Like that. And I want you to, on this point, so we're extending that out, we're going in 100 from our keywords. And I want you to put a radius of 25 at the center there. So we're going to have a circle here like that. Okay, so right now you're going to have two tangents. I want you to do a separate question then. So if things overlap or they go at, that's fine. I just want to see it, right? Okay, so what I want you to do, I want you to draw me an internal tangent between that circle and that circle. So you can have it going either way. I want you to draw me an internal tangent. I'll put it in our keywords. Internal tangent between the two circles. So you're drawing this point and you're just drawing me two tangents, and then a completely separate question. You can disregard everything you've done here. I want you to draw me an internal tangent between that radius 25 and that radius 40 there, in between the two of them. Alright lads? And then that's the fourth one. That's everything done lads. Thanks for the year. I'll give you your results there when I get all the stuff in. Get it in as quick as you can lads, and I'll get it cracked for you, and enjoy your summer if I don't see you around.